I'm Tatum Gray with Guardian Voice of the Missing with my co-host Ricky with Kansas Missing and Unsolved. Hope everybody is doing well. How are you, Ricky?
Doing pretty good. And I'm getting used to this new computer that was donated to KMU for doing the podcast and stuff. And it seems to be a lot better computer, a lot clearer picture, a lot better sound, no cutting in and out, nothing like that. So,
Yeah, it definitely sounds a lot
mm,
better.
yeah,
It's always nice when stuff works.
yep. You can see the real me now. I'm not so. The other one, I look so white in the face on the old computer, which I still use the old computer for making flyers and stuff, but strictly use this one for streaming.
Right. If you guys are out there, let us know that you're here and how you're doing. And we are going to go ahead and get started tonight. Podcast is going to focus on Indigenous. The Indigenous community is something very big that I support and look into different cases to try to get their cases out because those cases are not always seen or taken seriously by others. And I have had several people reach out to me, and I want to be able to help as much as I possibly can to get these cases out, to get awareness out, so people know that everybody deserves to have a voice when they go missing.
Was on top of the cage.
I know that Ricky has done some work with the Indigenous community as well, and he is a big supporter as well. So hopefully we can do a little educating. There's still a lot to learn, a lot to get out, but at least this can help others know a little bit more about the Indigenous community.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything, Ricky?
I'm just trying to get it shared over to Kansas Missing and Unsolved real fast here, and
Okay.
it's being a pain as usual.
So, again, if you guys have any cases out there that you would like us to cover, please let me know or let Ricky know, and we will definitely try to get them on the show, get flyers out, get them shared. So, I'm going to go ahead while Ricky is getting it posted over to KMU and go ahead and let you guys know when you see the red handprints or red alert, what the red handprints mean. A red handprint usually is painted across the mouth as a symbol that is used to indicate solidarity with missing and murdered Indigenous women and girls in North America. It is to raise awareness that the missing and murdered Indigenous women is an issue that Indigenous people face, but is also to be a form of healing. So if you guys see the flyers like the two that are behind me, I'll put the red handprint on them or red alert, so people do know that these are Indigenous cases out there and to please share them. It's also, to help the families of the missing as well, to have some healing with that as well. So we'll go ahead and we do have several cases tonight. So we'll go ahead and get started with Maria Kadesh Bigby. She's missing out of Billings, Montana on October 25th, 2022. She's 17 years old. She's 5'4", 210 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Maria's disappearance or her whereabouts, please call the Billings, Montana Police Department at 406-857-8461 or the Montana Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 406-444-2800. And she's been gone for quite a while, so I'm hoping somewhere out there someone will see her and get her back home to her family and stuff. The next case is out of Oklahoma. This is Kara Marie Cox. She is missing out of Seminole, Oklahoma on May 15th, 2022. She's 41 years old. She's between 5'4", 5'6", 100 to 120 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. Kara does have a tattoo of a green Care Bear on her upper right arm and a scorpion on the back of her neck. I do have the picture of the Care Bear tattoo there at the bottom. She has a round purple birthmark on her left shoulder blade. Kara's car, a green 2000 Honda Civic, a Civic Del Sol with a tag number LEQ 736, was confirmed towed by the Love's Travel Stop at Seminole exit of I-40 on May 20th, 2022. She was traveling with her boyfriend who drives a truck, and he said that he had left her in Arizona. He returned with all of her belongings except for her cell phone. On June 8, 2022, law enforcement received a possible sighting of Kara near Joseph City, Arizona, walking on the back roads of Joseph City on the west over the bridge on June 3rd at 5:30 p.m. Kara could be on foot or hitchhiking. If you have any information about Kara's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Seminole County, Oklahoma Sheriff at 405-257-5445. Her case number is 22-0536. She is out on NamUs at MP 92107. I know there's been a lot of talk about her case that people feel like her boyfriend has something to do with her disappearance. But I haven't heard any updates on her case lately. Have you?
I haven't heard or seen anything.
Hopefully something will come about with that. Either the boyfriend will have more information to give. It's just kind of suspicious that she left and then he came back with all of her stuff. It's always interesting. I don't believe people leave their stuff behind.
Right.
This next case is out of California. I have covered it for a couple weeks. This is Andrea Jerry White. She does go by the name Chick. She went missing from Humboldt, California on July 31st, 1991. She was 22 years old at the time of her disappearance. She is now 54. She's 5 foot, 115 pounds, brown hair, and brown eyes. She does have a 5-inch scar on the left side of her temple. She was last seen wearing a black leather jacket, white shirt, Levi jeans, and possible sneakers. She was carrying a black and white duffel bag that had a purple skirt, a black sweater, black spandex tights with lace at the ankle, and black satin pumps. It is not known if she had her ID on her and she didn't have a purse. She was last seen in Blue Lake, California at 1:30 p.m. on July 31st, 1991. She had been to a court hearing in Eureka, California, and was hitchhiking back to Hoopa, California, where she was living. She was last seen on Highway 299, just east of the Blue Lake exit. It is not confirmed, but she may have gotten a ride in a green and white 4-door Chevy Impala with snow/mud tires. If you have any information regarding Andrea's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Humboldt County, California Sheriff's Department at 707-445-7439 or 707-445-7251. Her case number is 199-104746. She is also in NamUs at MP 33197. I know that her family is really wanting some answers. She did leave behind 4 children, and they are all grown now. I think the youngest was 8 months when she disappeared, and now they're all adults. And the family is really having a hard time with her being gone. She was a very devoted mother, sister. She took care of her kids, so that her kids she definitely would not have left behind, from what I've been told by her family. And this has just been a really painful ordeal with her being gone. So there's been a lot of rumors that have went around. So trying to clear all the facts out, and I don't believe law enforcement's been very helpful in that case at all. Like not returning calls, stuff like that. So really trying to push her flyer out there, and hopefully we can get some information out. Do you have anything, Ricky?
No, just want to keep these flyers going and get them circulated and shared and posted and see what we can do to help get some answers.
Yeah.
That's the main thing.
And I believe cold cases are just as important as the recent cases. Right. There have been tons of cold cases that have been getting solved. There have been lots of remains being found, but also there's actually been a lot of people being found that went missing, 30, 40 years ago, and then they found them living in a different state. I think one
Right.
lady was just found living in Puerto Rico, maybe, or
Wow.
something like that. So, there's always that possibility someone's going to
Yeah.
be found,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah. I did a flyer for an older gentleman that had been missing from Fort Riley, Kansas since I think it was like 1956, 1957. And it's been several years ago. I got a message from his Canadian grandson to let me know that he had been living in Canada all these years and had recently passed. And they got the FBI involved. The FBI did DNA and everything, confirmed it was him, and
oh wow.
asked him if he could send me a recent picture because I wanted to see what he looked like now. And he sent me a recent picture, and compared it to the picture on the flyer, which was a military picture from Fort Riley, and he definitely tell it was him. He just aged, but he had been living his life up in Canada, had a whole nother family, grandkids, and everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that brings up something that I am looking into. Several people have came up and asked about the age progression
Hmm.
photos. And so I haven't made the contact with the lady that someone referred me to yet because I've just been really busy with some cases and, work and everything. But one of the things that if you are interested in getting an age progression photo, there are certain things that the people that do it, the artists that do them need. Like if you have a photograph of them, of course, but even a photograph of their parents, those are certain things that they need, and I will look more into it. So if you are
Yeah.
interested in age progression, I know that a lot of the artists are super busy. The one lady that I haven't talked to yet, but I was referred to, she may be able to, if she can't do it, she may be able to refer to someone else. So if you're interested in the age progression, please let me know. So I can get that information for you and see if we can get some age progressions on some of these older cases.
Right.
I know it does take time to get it done, but there are people out there. So I was really excited when I got in contact with somebody that knew someone that can do it. So,
Yeah.
um,
Age progressions are tricky. I
mhm,
mean, there's been, some of them have been pretty close, but there's been some that were just way off.
mhm.
They're kind of hit and miss. I guess it's all in how you do it. I guess I don't know.
And what they have to work with, I would
Yeah,
guess,
I have
too.
no knowledge or experience in that stuff at all. I use them on flyers from time to time. Like I just did a updated flyer for baby Lisa missing from Kansas City, and they just
Oh,
put out a new age progression of her at
oh,
what
good.
she may look like at 12. So
Are you talking about Lisa Irwin?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, her story is very interesting,
yeah. I just updated her
to
flyer
say the
earlier
least.
today, and I'm gonna cover it on the KMU pod tonight.
Yeah, that would be good if you have a new age progression. So, yeah, you guys, if you want age progressions, I can't guarantee how long it'll take, but I'm definitely trying to get that information out there so I can get it out to you guys. And missing person alerts nationwide page. Allison said, "Thank you, Tana. You are welcome." Um, so yeah, I think it'd be good if we could get some age progressions on some of these.
Yeah, I mean they could help.
They could. All right, so I want to do some facts with the Indigenous. The FBI's National Crime Information Center reported 5,203 missing Indigenous girls and women in 2021, disappearing at a rate equal to more than 2.5 times their estimated share of the U.S. population. Indigenous women are also 2 times more likely to be victims of rape compared to white women. The data tracking of missing and murdered Indigenous people cases is so scarce. The real number of the missing and murdered Indigenous people, which you guys will see a lot. I do the hashtag, and you'll see the hashtags of the MMIP. That is what it stands for. Cases is nearly impossible to estimate. And that is so true. A lot of these cases do not go reported due to the fact that, I love law enforcement. I'm a huge supporter, but I know a lot of these cases are not taken serious and they need to be taken serious. Missing is missing. So a lot of those cases aren't reported missing, or the families have went and tried to report them, but they're not put out on the databases like the NCIC or even NamUs. So that is a big push that we are doing right now as advocates. There's families out there pushing to get them out more in these databases to get their cases seen. There's a lot of push now in the government realm as well, that there is new statutes that are coming out. Washington has a new statute that came into effect at the first of the year. I'm trying to work on that and get that out to you guys as well, about reporting and stuff. So if you guys see these flyers, please share them. Their families would greatly appreciate them being shared. You know, they do deserve a voice. That's the whole purpose of why I started Guardian, was to give cases that don't get seen and be a voice for them, but also being a voice for their families. You would not want to be in the position of a missing family, you know, that is missing someone. So, you know, keep everybody in your thoughts and your guys' prayers. But please definitely, you know, support these causes on getting statutes, getting law enforcement more educated on missing people, and taking cases serious when people go missing. I cannot say enough about that.
Yeah.
Do you want to do Jonas from Oklahoma?
Sure. This is Jonas Albert Summers. I think I've even done a flyer for him myself, I believe. Missing from Tulsa, Oklahoma since July 23rd, 2019. He was 32 when he went missing. He's now 35. 6'1" to 6'3", weighs between 200 and 270 pounds. Has black hair and brown eyes. He does go by the name JoJo. He is affiliated with the Muskogee Creek Nation. Has multiple tattoos on his arms, back, calf, chest, shoulder, neck, and wrist. There's a few of them on the photos down there. Jonas has no phone or vehicle. He has ties to Wichita, Kansas, Oklahoma City, Tulsa County, Oklahoma, Cherokee County, Oklahoma, and LA, California. If you have any information regarding Jonas's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Tulsa, Oklahoma Police Department at 918-596-9143 or 918-596-9222 or the DOC at 405-425-2696. And see if we can help get Jonas located and back to where he needs to be.
Yeah, I know his family would definitely like to get him located.
Right.
This next one is out of Minnesota. This is Nevaeh Lee Kingbird. She's missing out of Bengia, Minnesota. She went missing on October 22nd of 2021. She was 15 at the time of her disappearance. She is 16. Her height is 5'4", 120 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. Nevaeh goes by Bay, and Tank. She is enrolled with the Minnesota Chippewa Tribe Leech Lake Band. She was last seen wearing outerwear, blue jeans, and Nike slides, sandals, which are pictured there below. If you have any information regarding Nevaeh's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Bemidji, Minnesota Police Department at 218-333-9111. And hoping that someone will know something and come forward to where she may be located. And that's another big thing. If you know something, say something. You know,
most definitely.
You know, you would not want someone to hold back information if you were missing someone, especially a child. You know, you don't want to hold back that information.
Yeah, you don't. And I'm a firm believer that somebody knows something about each and every one of these cases.
Absolutely.
You know, I'm a firm believer in that. Well, thank you.
And then Missing Person Alerts is putting up some definitions and stuff like that for people. There's a complex and valid reason why Indigenous Americans may be hesitant to share private information with law enforcement officials. Indigenous Americans may be reluctant to give private information to the law. Yeah, I've heard that. Definitely talking to a lot of the families that I have been working with. They don't want to give out private information. But also, I think a lot of people don't want to be stereotyped or not taken serious with cases, or people to say, oh, well, they're an adult, they can go do whatever they want, or, oh, they have substance abuse issues or mental health issues, and they want to, you know, just be ugly about situations, which I just have no tolerance for
Right.
at all. And I know I did say the name of that town wrong, and it's Bemidji. Is that how you say it? Bemidji? Bemidji?
Bemidji.
I'm not very good at some of these places I've not heard of or been to. Good evening, William. It's always good to see you here. Or I don't know that you're here. So I apologize if I mispronounce something. I will try to work on those. But thank you guys all for being here. This is another case from 2021. This is Leo Wagner. He is missing out of Babb, Montana on April 27th, 2021. He disappeared. He was 26 years old. He is now 27. 5'8", 165 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He is enrolled in the Blackfeet tribe of the Blackfeet Indian Reservation in Montana. He was last seen near St. Mary/Babb area of the Blackfeet Indian Reservation around 6:35 p.m. near the West Shore Road. He was wearing blue jeans, a white shirt, and a blue plaid short sleeve button-up shirt. It was believed by law enforcement that he was on foot, but they thought he was injured. If you have any information regarding Leo's disappearance or know his whereabouts, please call the Blackfeet Tribal Montana Law Enforcement Agency at 406-338-4000. I don't know for sure why they feel like he was injured. I have not been able to find anything out on why they do think that he was injured, but I have not seen any recent updates on his case as well.
I have to ask, is one of your dogs nearby sleeping?
Yeah, that's probably Nyla snoring.
Yeah, okay.
I can't believe you guys can hear that. Okay, I'm sorry about that.
I had to mute my microphone to see if it was something going on my end or your.
No, it's Nyla. She's snoring. Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry. Do you want to do Randolph?
Yeah, I can do Randolph. This is Randolph Plenty Hawk, missing from Billings, Montana since January 8, 2017. He was 53 when he was missing. He's now 60. He is 6'3", weighs 180 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. Last had contact with his family in Hardin, Montana in 2016. And last known contact was in Billings, Montana on January 8, 2017. He was enrolled in the Crow tribe of Montana. And again, when he went missing, he was 53. He's now 60. He is 6'3", 180 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Randolph's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Bureau of Indian Affairs Office of Justice Services at 406-657-5936 or Bighorn County, Montana Sheriff's Department at 406-665-9780 and see if we can't help get Randolph located and back to where he needs to be.
Hi, Nyla. Yeah. Allison's where my snoring dog. One thing that I've been I've been trying to do a lot of research with the indigenous, but if you go out on it's a government site, the Indian Bureau site, it does have a lot of really good information. It has a lot of cases out there on there that I'm going to try to work on getting more information out there on those cases. So it makes me happy to see that there is a government side and it's getting more recognition out there for these cases.
Definitely.
And William said, sadly, I've lost trust in the police in the UK. Don't know what it is like there. I think it's hit or miss everywhere you go. Honestly,
Yeah.
I've worked with some great law enforcement agencies. I know Ricky has worked with some great law
Oh,
enforcement
definitely.
agencies.
Yeah.
Um, and I've worked with some that aren't so great. I've
Yeah.
gotten in arguments with law enforcement agencies. Um, Definitely know your statutes here in every state. They have to take reports. Um, and usually, when you put a statute in front of their face, I had one guy up in Washington that told me, he's like, "Well, that's not how we do it here." And I said, "Well, then you're breaking the law." So, uh, you know, they have to follow their laws and their regulations. So, definitely trying to, again, I'm still working on all the statutes and stuff. So, you guys have those. If you have one law enforcement agency here, like sometimes the city doesn't want to take a report, go to your sheriff. I know
Right.
I get a lot of good feedback from sheriffs. The
Yeah.
county seems to be more open and better working with missing persons cases, from what I've heard from families and even some that I've worked with. I don't know why that is,
Hmm.
but like I said, it's hit or miss, and a lot of agencies are not up to date on the times. I mean, that's honest, but I do know there's a lot of agencies out there that they are retraining, re-educating, um, with the family speaking out, with advocates speaking out. So I do see that there's changes that coming, and I think that's great.
That's good.
I do see it, so I'm very happy about that. All right. Our next case is Shakara Harding. She's missing out of Billings, Montana on July 23rd, 2018. She was 19 at the time of her disappearance. She is now 24. 5'4", 125 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. She does have both of her ears pierced. She may go by her middle name Blue or spell her name Shakaiah or use the last name Harding, which is just spelled different. She does have a history of mental illness and substance abuse. She is a member of the Northern Cheyenne tribe of the Northern Cheyenne Indian Reservation. She was last seen walking in the Bella Vista Drive in Billings, Montana at 4 p.m. on July 23rd. She had been living homeless and had not been keeping in touch with her family. She was reported missing on August 20th. She does have ties in New Mexico, Fort Riley, Kansas, Fort Belknap, and Billings, Montana. Family is very concerned about her safety. If you have any information regarding Shakira's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Yellowstone County Sheriff's Office at 406-256-2929 or the BIA OJS Missing and Murdered Unit at 833-560-2065. And hopefully someone knows where she is and get her back to her family, because I know in all these cases, safety is a big concern, and
Hmm.
families are very worried about well-being. Anytime a person, like mental health issues, I mean that's a big struggle for people. And then when people disappear, you always got to worry, where they're at and if they're okay, and not wanting someone to take advantage of that situation. Even with substance abuse, I know a lot of people are judgmental. I don't always put substance abuse and stuff on there, but it doesn't matter if someone has substance abuse issues. It doesn't matter if someone has mental health issues. It doesn't matter the color of your skin. It doesn't matter your economical status. These are people, these are human beings. This is someone's mother. This is someone's daughter. This is someone's sister. Have respect. We all make dumb, decisions. We all make choices that aren't the best choices in the world, but we're still a human being. And if you're missing, you deserve to be found. You deserve to have your flyer shared that maybe someone will see you. If you're homeless, I know a lot of people are like, against sharing homeless flyers. Yeah, I don't have any tolerance for that. You know, we all have situations and things that happen in our life that put us where we're at, but it doesn't mean that you don't deserve to be loved, cared about, and brought back home.
Right. I mean, why would you not want to share a flyer just because you're homeless? I mean, that doesn't
Yeah,
make a lot of sense.
no. Or your sexual orientation.
Right.
That's.
I did a flyer for a young man that was missing out of Pittsburgh, Kansas, and he was found sleeping on the steps of a church in Los Angeles.
Yeah,
So, I mean, homeless or not, share them.
right.
Share all of them.
Most definitely. Here is another fact that I thought I would bring in. According to the National Crime Information Center, which is when you guys hear us say NCIC, in 2016, 5,712 reports of missing Indigenous females and girls. Only 116 of those cases were put into NamUs.
Wow.
That's a huge number.
Yeah.
And this is NCIC. This is when they take an official missing persons report. That is the database that these reports go in that go nationwide. So every law enforcement agency out there has access to this database. And only 116 of those cases were put into NamUs. I think that is just terrible. I will tell you, as of today, there are only 800 Indigenous cases in NamUs. I checked this morning. I'm in NamUs all the time. NamUs has a total of 22,812 cases in it currently. Now, that number could have changed from this morning, but this was as of this morning.
Wow.
This has got to change. Has got to change.
Wow.
57, 5,000 people and only 160 cases got into NCIC. So these people could have been in touch with law enforcement, and law enforcement would have never known they were missing because they were not put into the NCIC.
Wow. That's just mind-boggling.
Shocking facts. Yeah. This has to change. If you're a law enforcement officer that is out here watching this podcast, because I know I do have some that do watch me and Ricky's podcast.
Mm-hmm.
This is important. This is so important. I don't do politics. I do have a lot of people trying to get me into the politic game. I don't do it because this is my focus, is making these changes. How many people could have been found if they were in that NCIC database or in NamUs, which law enforcement has access to?
Right.
How many people could have been found out of the 5,000?
Wow.
This has got to change. I'm sorry. This across the board has got to change, but definitely for Indigenous, this is disheartening, and then they wonder why people don't want to make reports. Why make a report if you're not going to get put into a database that could help you find your loved one?
Right.
So if you're a family member, if you're just a supporter of helping out missing people thing, if you know someone in law enforcement, talk to them about this. Let's get something done.
Yeah.
This definitely, it's not good. And then only to see 800 cases in there out of 22, that has to change.
Wow.
Something needs to change for our missing, but especially for the Indigenous too. Like, something's got to change.
Yeah, definitely.
And Elsa says, wow, thank you for that information. 5,000 people and only 400 were put in the NCIC. Actually, it was 126 were put in the NCIC. Yeah.
That's sad.
Very. William said, I thought you might find this funny. A friend of mine was reported on the net as missing. He was homeless, dropped in right opposite of the police station, and he is there every day. He's okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And then, very true. Hashtag, if you know something, say something.
Excuse me. Yeah, know something, say something. Absolutely.
Even if you see someone that you think might be somebody, it doesn't hurt to make that report,
Right.
you know? So definitely. Do you want to do Sumai?
Sure. Sure. Let's see. This is Sumi Gale Wan. I hope I said that right. Missing from Hoopa, California since October 1st, 2010. She was 32 when she went missing. She's now 45, 5'10", 200 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. She does have a birthmark on the back of her left calf, and she may wear glasses. She is a member of the Hoopa tribe. She was last seen on or after September 8th, 2010, walking away from the Hoopa Elementary School on Highway 96 in Hoopa, California. There's little information on her case, and she was not reported missing until October 29th, 2010. So no wonder they waited almost a month. Again, when she went missing, she was 32. She's now 45. She's 5'10", 200 pounds, black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Suni's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the Humboldt County, California Sheriff's Office at 707-445-7251 or the Hoopa Valley Tribal California Police Department at 530-625-4615. See if we can't get Sumi found and back to where she needs to be.
Definitely. And not to put Humboldt County on blast in California, you only have 5.
Wow.
5 missing people that are indigenous. And all 5 will be seen tonight.
Wow.
Yeah, Humboldt County, California need to step up their game. And I know that's not everybody that's missing from there. They have way more missing there. There's a lot of issues out there in California, but I will tell you, Humboldt County, California only has 5.
Wow.
The only thing I can give them props for is they have pictures. Actually in there. Because that's the other thing is people put stuff in like NamUs and they don't have pictures.
Yeah. That's that way all over. I deal with that too here in Kansas with KBI. And
yeah,
it's like, how could you not get pictures? I mean, I know sometimes if it's like a really, really older case, pictures might be hard to find, but I mean, everybody has access to the driver's license bureau. At least pull a driver's license picture.
Right.
You know, or a state ID photo if they don't have a driver's license. Some people do have state IDs. At least pull that photo.
Right.
I mean, it's something.
So if anybody from law enforcement in Humboldt County is out there watching, if you want some tips,
yeah,
you can hit me and Ricky up and we'll let you know what you can do.
Give me an example. Kenny Rychek missing from here in Salina. I have a flyer up for him with his photo. KBI don't have a photo.
Yeah. There are a lot of flyers that we have done that we have photos that the databases do not have photos.
Yeah.
So if we can get photos, I think
that should be mandatory.
Right.
It should be mandatory.
And I think they just don't put them in. I think some of them they just don't put them in. And I will say a lot of the databases do not have pictures of indigenous, and that's ridiculous. You know.
You have a noisy phone tonight.
I know. So popular.
I put mine on vibrate so it wouldn't be so noisy.
All right. The next 2 that we're going to cover went missing together. This is Susan Lacey Fast Eagle. She went missing from Rapid City, South Dakota on May 3rd, 2021. She was 30 years old at the time of her disappearance. She is 5'2", 160 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. She does wear glasses. She has a tattoo on her left arm of melons and a hatchet man on her right arm. I do have a picture of the hatchet man there at the bottom. She may go by Susan Chief Eagle. She was last seen with her boyfriend Verdell Brown Bull, which we will cover here in just a minute, in the area of Memorial Park in Rapid City, South Dakota. Verdell has been, wait a minute. He had been reported missing to the Ogallala Sioux Tribe Department of Public Safety. There is a $3,000 reward for information that leads to Susan's location. If you have any information regarding Susan's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Rapid City, South Dakota Police Department at 605-394-4131. And I will go ahead and put up Vertil's because he was reported to a different agency, but there is his picture. This is Vertil James Brown Bull Jr. He is missing out of Rapid City, South Dakota on May 3rd, 2021. He was 51 at the time of his disappearance. He is now 52, 5'8", 200 pounds. He has gray hair and brown eyes. He does belong to the Ogallala Sioux tribe. He did go missing with Susan Fast Eagle. But if you have any information regarding his disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Ogallala Sioux Tribe, South Dakota Department of Public Safety at 605-867-5141. So they both went missing together. If you have information on him, I'm sure you can call either one of the law enforcement agencies for either one of them. And give them information if you have seen them. And Allison was putting up hashtag Humboldt County. And the next case is going to be out of Humboldt County. This is not wrong one. Sorry. Sorry about that, guys. This is Virgil Owen Bustle Jr. Oh my gosh. He is missing out of Wichipeg. Is that how you say that, you think?
Not sure. I've never seen that one before.
Wichipeg, California, on March 1st, 2020. He is 5'8", 180 pounds, gray hair and partially gray hair and brown eyes. He was 52 at the time of his disappearance. He is now 55. He does have a lump on his forehead. Virgil does have multiple tattoos on his arm, shoulder, chest. He has bush cat on his upper right arm and a bear claw on his left chest. I do have several photos of his tattoos there at the bottom. He is a member of the Hoopa Valley tribe. He was last seen wearing a hooded sweatshirt, blue jeans, and work boots. His truck, which is photographed down there at the bottom, was found abandoned on Deerhorn Road, and it is believed that he may have been cutting wood or mushrooming near where his truck was found on March 25th, 2020. The keys were left in his truck, and the truck was loaded with wood. The Hoopa Valley Tribe is offering a $15,000 reward for any person who can lead to the whereabouts of Virgil and to the arrest and conviction of the person/persons involved in his disappearance. Foul play is definitely suspected in his case. If you have any information regarding Virgil's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Humboldt County, California Sheriff Office at 707-445-7251 or the Hoopa, California Tribal Police at 530-825-4202. I know that his family has definitely done a lot of different things to get his story out there. I've seen where they've done vigils, I believe, and different stuff. So I'm hoping that he will be located or someone will come forward in his disappearance and get some resolution for these families. This is another one out of Humboldt County. This is Walter Rain Wright. He is missing out of Trinidad, California on July 11th, 2021. He was 35 at the time of disappearance. He is now 37, 5'11", 140 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. He does have a tattoo saying Danny Wright that has 2 dates on his back. He is enrolled in the Muskogee Creek Nation. He was last seen in Trinidad, California, which is in Humboldt County on July 11th, 2021, wearing a black hat with a Cali written in red, dark blue jeans, and a shirt of unknown color. He was wearing a thick silver ring on his pinky finger. He lived in West Haven, California at the time of his disappearance. If you have any information regarding Walter's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Humboldt County Sheriff's Office at 707-445-7251. And I'm not trying to pick on Humboldt County, but I just have to shake my head about it. And I'm going to be me. Do you want to do the next one? I think it's Zayla. You're muted, Ricky.
Yes, I am. Sorry about that. Looks like Zayla Jacole, big hair, missing from Bighorn County, Montana since December 5th of 2022. She is 15. She's 5'6", 160 pounds, black hair, brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Zayla's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Bighorn County, Montana Sheriff's Department at 405-665-9780 or the Montana Missing Persons Clearinghouse at 406-444-2800 and see if we can't get Zayla located and back to where she needs to be.
And if anybody out there has more information on some of these flyers that we do, because some just don't have a whole lot of information. So if there's anybody out there that knows maybe the family or any more information we could put on them, I would greatly add more stuff to their flyers. And then William said, remember the case I told you about here in Birmingham, UK, 2 missing boys. Now the case workers, all 3 of them at the missing people charity have gone missing as well.
Wow.
So the caseworkers working on the case went missing. Wow.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I know a lot of people. I've had people ask me, they're like, are you worried about, any of the cases that you do that you'll go missing? I have covered a case of a girl that was a missing persons advocate, and she is currently still missing. I don't really worry about it. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I know some people have dug into cases and have been threatened, stuff like that. I haven't had any issues. I don't know that Ricky's had any issues.
No, I haven't had any issues.
But
sorry about that. My daughter was talking to me, so I had to mute for a minute.
That's okay. So that's crazy. When people working on a case go missing, that's
it makes your mind wander in a couple of different directions.
Yeah,
really.
Are they involved in the missing? Are they involved in that disappearance, or is someone? Did they get too close, and then someone wants to keep them quiet?
It makes your mind go in a whole kinds of different directions.
Most definitely.
Hopefully, all are okay.
Yeah, and William said yes. How odd. Yeah, that'll be interesting to see what comes about with that case.
Is there any media sources to follow this case on by chance? Because I would like to try to keep up on it the best I can.
Definitely. And the last case that we're going to cover, I have covered Kit before. This is Esmeralda Nelson Mora. She does go by Kit. She is missing from Olmec, Washington, September 29th of 2022. They were 16 at the time of their disappearance. They are now 17, 5'2", 140 to 160 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. Kit is a non-binary who was born a female. They may go by Kit, and that is what they go by. Kit was 16 years old at the time of their disappearance and now is 17. They are 5 foot tall, weighs 140 to 160 pounds, brown hair, but her hair was dyed black at the time of their disappearance. They have a small scar on the left cheek. They have their ears pierced, and they do have medical issues that do require medication. They last had contact by phone on November 11th of 2021. Their phone was disconnected after that, and family was blocked on all social media. A friend of Kit's contacted police in September of 2022 because family and loved ones had had no contact with Kit. Kit's mother told the police that she had ran away on April 2022. Kit's mother never reported them missing. September 29th of 2022 was when the official missing report was made. Kit could possibly have traveled to Lawton, Oklahoma, Oregon, California, or still be in Washington. I do believe that they believe that there is foul play in Kit's disappearance. If you have any information regarding Kit's disappearance or you know their whereabouts, please call 911, the Omak, Washington Police Department at 509-826-0383, or Colville, Washington Tribe Police at 509-634-2472. And I believe that they did finally get Kit into NamUs.
Well, they need to.
Definitely.
Mm.
Most definitely.
So they think foul play may be involved.
Yes. The last I heard about her case is there was a mattress, I believe, where she was living with her mother, and it was up against the wall, and when they moved that mattress back from the wall, there was some blood. And
wow.
The last I heard, they are doing DNA testing to see. I also know that her mother has not been cooperative at all in her case. You know, the simple fact.
Suspicious.
Yeah. The simple fact of just saying, oh, she ran away. She's 16 years old. You know, They're 16. I know I had another indigenous case out of Oklahoma I wanted to cover, but I did not. For some reason, I don't see it on here. But if you guys give me a moment, I will try to pop it up real quick. Because I really want to cover this case as well. All right. And that is Timo. All right. Here will be the last case that we're going to cover. This is Aubrey Demiron. She is missing out of Grove, Oklahoma on March 9th, 2019.
I believe it's Dameron, actually.
Is it Dameron?
Yeah, I've done a flyer for Cameron or for Aubrey too.
Okay. She was 25 at the time of her disappearance. She is now 29, 5'9" to 5'10", 140 to 170 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. She does have both of her ears pierced, and she does have breast implants. And the purpose of putting breast implants on there, if there's anybody that's out there that's missing, breast implants all have serial numbers on them. So this was something important for law enforcement to point out if any remains or anything would come about that that they could possibly be able to link them to somebody. Aubrey was born a male but identifies and lives as a female. Aubrey's previous name was Austin Dylan Joel Dameron. She had begun her medical transition but had not completed it the entire process at the time of her disappearance. She does have multiple tattoos. She has a tattoo of a triangular on the back of her neck and the word shorty in a circular design on her upper arm, at her shoulder, and on both hips. And I do have some of the pictures of her tattoos there at the bottom. She does have a history of epilepsy and does not have her prescription medications on her. She is enrolled in the Cherokee Nation. She was last seen walking away from her mother's home off of 280 Road north of Grove, Oklahoma at 3 a.m. on March 29th, wearing a black jacket, black skirt, or black shirt and a black mini skirt, black hose, and black leather boots with heels. She had left behind her purse and her phone. She had stated that she was going to meet someone. She had tried contacting several people to get a ride, but it is unknown if she got picked up by someone. It is unlike Aubrey to not have contact with her loved ones. Her family is very concerned about her safety and that she is at risk of foul play. If you have any information regarding Aubrey's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Delaware County, Oklahoma Sheriff's Office at 918-253-2700 or Oklahoma State Bureau of Investigation Northeast at 918-582-0900. 9075 or the Federal Bureau of Investigation, Tulsa at 918-664-3300. I know when I've done a little bit of research about her, where she went missing from, there was not anything really close. So her walking or, there was nothing out there. It was kind of like out in the outskirts from what I understand. But also, I think with her transitioning and stuff that she did get a lot of ridicule and stuff like that. So hopefully someone knows something and they'll say something and get her back, home.
Yeah. Definitely.
Find our team's administration missing youth of the Pacific Northwest. Back to Kit. They are not on NamUs. They are now on NCNC now and on Washington State Patrol Persons.
Wow.
Unit website. Okay. Well, I'm going to let a little cat out of the bag. So I'm able to put cases in NamUs. So, yeah. So I'm able to put cases in NamUs, but we would still have to have law enforcement put their stuff on there. So definitely pushing to get these guys in NamUs, I feel is very important. I had thought that they had got her them on NamUs. So that is something that definitely needs to be done. So find our team's administration. If you want to send me a message, I haven't talked to Kit's sister it's been a while since I've talked to Kit's sister, but I'm going to try to reach out to her again, but maybe we could touch base and see what we can do to try to get some more of these cases, especially Kit's case in NamUs. Because I thought that had gotten done, but I guess it hasn't. So we'll have to see about trying to get her in there. So thank you for definitely joining. I didn't know if this is your first time watching our podcast or not, but thank you for commenting and being here, and appreciate everything you do.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, great. Okay, so I'm going to try to do this. We always close out with a prayer. And one of I follow saints a lot. And I have came across the Catholic Church has put a indigenous as a saint, Saint Kateri. Saint Kateri. So I've been trying to do some studying on her. But I do have a prayer that I would love to share with everybody, since we are definitely focusing on indigenous tonight. So if you guys if you have any other questions or comments, I do want to get closed out because Ricky does have his podcast, but you guys can still continue to comment or everything. But I really wanted to share this because it means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to others, but we always close out with a prayer. So if you guys give me just a moment, I got to put some light on it so I can actually read it and see it. But I hope you guys will enjoy it. But I was very happy to see the Catholic Church pick a saint of someone that was indigenous. I thought it was great. All right. So I will go ahead and read this. If you guys are ready, we can close out with a prayer. All right. Kateri, favored child and lily of the Mohawks, I come to seek your intercession in my present need. That would be for all the families of the missing to continue to have hope and to find peace and to find their missing loved one. Also for the missing all to come home. I admire the virtues which adore your soul, love of God and neighbor, humility, obedience, patience, purity, and the spirit of sacrifice. Help me to imitate your example in my state of life. Through the goodness and the mercy of God, who has blessed you with so many graces, which led you to the true faith and to a high degree of holiness. Pray to God for me and help me. Obtain for me a very fervent devotion to the Holy Eucharist, that I may love Holy Mass as you did and receive the Holy Communion as often as I can. Teach me also to be devout to my crucified Savior as you were, and I may cheerfully bear my daily cross for the love of him who suffered so much for the love of me. Most of all, I beg you to pray for me that I may avoid sin and lead a holy life and save my soul. Amen.
Amen.
And thanksgiving to God for the graces bestowed upon Kateri. One, our Father. Oh, well, we don't have to do all that. That would be a lot. But yeah, so I've been studying Saint Kateri, and yeah, she definitely is very holy. And I hope by sharing her with you guys and sharing a prayer with you guys, maybe that will help a lot of the families out there that are really struggling. My heart goes out to you guys. Like Chick, she's been gone since 1991. My heart really pours out to her family. Her sister has been wonderful to talk to, um, and I appreciate all of you guys that share your guys's loved ones with us, and we're able to be a voice for them and hope to bring them home. If there's anything that we can do, like I said, sometimes a lot of people, you guys just need someone to talk to, and we're definitely here for you guys. So, and if you want, you can look up Saint Kateri. But yeah, I was pretty excited when I saw that she was ordained as saint in the Catholic Church. I thought that was really great. So I thought that I would share that, guys, with you. And we have one more comment. William West said, God bless you all. Thank you, William. I appreciate that. And that is all that I have for tonight. Like I said, this podcast, there's so much more that I wanted to do. And I just didn't get as much done as I wanted to do. But I hope what we shared with you guys tonight gives you guys a little bit more understanding, inspires you guys to keep being the voice of all the missing. But, definitely, send some extra prayers to these families and to the missing, and keep sharing flyers and stuff. Also, I will tell you, March is the 6-month anniversary of me starting Guardian. And the group is up to almost 1,300. And so thank you guys for all the support. I appreciate it. I couldn't do this without you. I know the families appreciate everything that the advocates out there are doing. Other family members, I cannot believe the support on my page of other families with other families. Even on Kansas Missing Unsolved, the families are great. The loved ones are great. Not only do they share their stories, but they a lot of them have kind of come together and they share other people's flyers, and I think that's wonderful. So God bless you guys. Appreciate y'all. Don't hesitate to reach out. If you have a case that you feel is not getting covered, let us know. And thank you guys all for being here tonight. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you. And if you want to pop over to Kansas Missing Unsolved, Ricky gets to do another podcast.
Yep.
So, and that's it. So God bless you all. Let's continue to pray to bring these loved ones back home.
Yep, definitely. You guys have a good night.